For the longest time, the AI race was pretty simple. Who could build the biggest, most powerful model? But that's all changing. In just the past few weeks, 3 major releases have completely redefined the fight. It's not just about size anymore. Now it's about cost, access, and just plain smarter design. So let's break down what this new battleground looks like, and we'll start with a mystery that had the entire industry talking.
So it all kicked off when this mysterious, incredibly powerful model called Hunter Alpha just appeared. It shot straight to the top of the AI leaderboards, and of course the speculation just went wild. Everyone figured it had to be the next big thing from a major player, right? Maybe an early peek at DeepSeek's next-gen model?
But it wasn't DeepSeek, and it wasn't any of the usual suspects you'd think of. The company behind this new top 10 model was one that most people, especially here in the West, probably still think of as just a phone brand. And that reveal alone sent a huge shockwave through the industry.
The company was Xiaomi. And look, this wasn't just some little side experiment for them. This was a serious, calculated move from a global tech giant. To really get the impact here, you first have to understand the kind of scale we are talking about.
That's how many smartphones Xiaomi shipped in 2023. 170 million. That makes them the third largest manufacturer in the entire world, right on the heels of Apple and Samsung. So we're talking about a massive force with a huge ecosystem. And when a company like that enters the AI race this aggressively, everyone, and I mean everyone, has to pay attention.
So it turns out Hunter Alpha was just the internal code name for the new flagship model, Myo V2 Pro, and this thing is an absolute monster. We're talking over 1 trillion parameters, a massive 1 million token context window, and something called multi-token prediction, which basically means it generates responses way faster by predicting several words at once instead of just one at a time.
And its performance, well, it's pretty fascinating. It's currently sitting at 8th in the world. That's truly elite. Take a look at its coding ability. It scores a 78% on SWE verified, which puts it right in the same league as top-tier models like Claude. It really seems to shine in creative writing and single-shot code generation. Now, it's not perfect. It still struggles with super complex math and reasoning. But here's the real kicker.
The price. Look at this. Myo V2 Pro costs $1 per million input tokens and 3 for output. Now compare that to Claude Opus, a model it's directly competing with on some tasks, which costs over $500 for the same amount. This isn't just a price cut. It is a complete demolition of the existing market structure. It's just staggering.
So here's the really crucial takeaway. For any company, any enterprise looking to deploy AI at a large scale, especially for complex systems that just burn through tokens, Xiaomi just rewrote the corporate budget. This kind of pricing makes widespread adoption not just possible, but frankly, financially irresistible. It completely changes the game for what businesses can even afford to build.
Okay, let's pivot to our second big development, because you'll see how this all starts to connect. While Xiaomi went after cost, the French AI company Mistral targeted accessibility. They released a powerful new voice generation model that puts state-of-the-art tools right into everyone's hands.
This is Voxel TTS, and it's pretty amazing. It's incredibly fast. We're talking just 70 milliseconds of latency. It's efficient enough to run on local devices, not just in the cloud. It can clone a voice from just a 3-second sample. And, in true Mistral fashion, it's open weight for non-commercial use. That means developers get a ton of power and control.
And this really shows you the shift that's happening. We are moving away from these expensive, closed APIs that lock you into the cloud, and we're moving toward open models that can run right on your own hardware. This just demolishes the barrier to entry for building powerful apps. Think about it. Advanced private customer service automation. A company can now run voice agents locally without sending sensitive customer data to the cloud for every single little interaction. That is a huge deal.
All right, and that brings us to our third innovation. Now, this one isn't a flashy new model. Instead, it's a fundamental improvement in how models are trained. And it's coming from the company that builds the hardware for pretty much everyone else, NVIDIA.
They call it ProRL, and the idea behind it is actually beautifully simple. See, traditionally, the part of the AI that's doing a task and the part that's learning from it are all kind of crammed together, which can be messy and slow. So NVIDIA just separated them. The agent focuses only on doing the task, and the trainer connects from the outside to focus only on learning. This clean separation makes the entire training pipeline way more efficient.
And the results really do speak for themselves. Using this smarter system design, one AI model saw its score on a really tough coding benchmark jump from 15.4 all the way to 23.6. That is a massive improvement. And it's not from a brand new model, it's just from being smarter about how it's trained.
It's proof that the next big gains might come from better engineering, not just bigger models.
So, what does this all mean when you put it together? When you take Xiaomi's attack on price, Mistral's huge push for open access, and NVIDIA's smarter approach to training, you're not just looking at three separate things. You're actually seeing the new rules of the AI game being written in real time.
The new frontiers are becoming really clear. First, you have radical cost efficiency, which is totally decoupling performance from price. Second, there's open source accessibility, moving these incredibly powerful tools out of walled gardens and into the hands of developers everywhere. And third, smarter system design is proving that you can get huge performance gains just by being more clever about the whole process.
And that leaves us with one last, really crucial question. For years, the main limit was the technology itself. But now, with performance this high, costs this low, and tools this accessible, the primary limit is starting to become our own imagination. So the question isn't just what can be built anymore. The real question is, what will you build?